Welcome to Planet Microcap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me today is Alexandra Woodyer-Sharon. She is the president and CEO of Empress Royalty Corp. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you: EMPR on the TSX Venture and EMPYF on the OTCQX. And Empress Royalty will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 12 through 15, 2023. For more information, to meet Alexandra, to see her present one-on-one, the whole bit, please go to precioussummit.com. And with that, Alexandra, thank you for joining me today. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Great to see you again, Robert.
Great to see you as well. So, Alexandra, before we get into all the updates and everything like that, it's actually literally been about a year to almost the day since we last did our first interview. Before we get into all that, can you give us that quick overview of the company, and then we'll go from there?
Yeah, absolutely. So Empress, we offer investors a strategic approach to investing in gold and silver. We are a royalty and streaming creation company, which means we help mines get into production or expand upon their production capacity. The whole concept from Empress came from Endeavour Financial, who's our investment manager, also a large shareholder. I'm also Endeavour Financial as our chairman, David Rhodes. And seeing that the streaming companies, especially the more established streaming companies, were doing investments of $50 million to $100 million, and that no one was providing the streaming structure to the junior side of the market. And that's how we set up Empress. We set it up over 2 years ago. We've invested $19.5 million US into the portfolio, into 4 key assets, a producer and 3 development assets. Our net asset value of the portfolio is about $47 million, and we're forecasting about $50 million of revenue over the next 5 years.
Very good. Thank you for that overview. And so, like I said, last time we did an interview together, we published that on August 31st, 2022. We're actually recording this on Wednesday, August 30th, 2023. Look at us, huh? We're almost at the, so love to get an update. What would you say are some of the company's highlights from the last 12 months?
We've been very busy, as have our investment companies. So when we look at the portfolio, we have the producing asset in Peru owned by Sierra Cien, the Sierra Antipite mine. They've been increasing production, bringing consistent revenue into Empress. We also had 2 development assets. One was the Talahueto Silver Stream owned by Luca Mining. They went through a restructuring this year with a new CEO and president. They were successful in reaching 500 tons earlier this summer, and they're looking to increase their production with the second ball mill up to 1,000 tons by the end of this year. So we've been getting revenue, working with them through that restructuring, and now receiving revenue from them, and that will increase over the next couple months. We also have the Manica Gold Royalty on a project in Mozambique. When we last spoke, that was a development stage asset. They've gotten in production and receiving consistent gold royalties from them. So overall, the portfolio has definitely advanced in the last year without making additional investments. And also we've increased and strengthened our shareholder base. Just after we met last year, we did a private placement, bringing Rick Rule as a strategic investor. Also, Stefan Gleason from Money Metals Exchange bought in the market and has become a large shareholder. And we continue to have shareholder support from Jerry Bond at Terra Capital, Endeavour Financial, and some of the Sprott funds through Maria Smirnova.
Very good. All right. So, in your overview, you mentioned that the company's goal is to be at 50 million run rate within 5 years, right? So just a quick look at the financials. I think we're in the first 6 months for 2023. What was it? Just about just over 1.5, right?
Yep.
For unaudited, or just over 1.5. So what would you say in your opinion, what's the strategy that will get you to that goal of 50 million within 5 years?
Yeah, well, the 50 million is of the investments we've already made. So as those mines ramp up and get production, that's if we did nothing else. We're forecasting between $6 and $7 million this year, up to about 10 million next year, and then obviously that continues on. But the real goal for us is to bring new investments into the portfolio. Right now in our pipeline, I've got exclusivity on 2 opportunities in Africa. Both are producers, helping them expand their production. And there's some other exciting opportunities. We're in discussions in South America as well. So the idea is to bring some additional investments similar to what we've done before and grow the diversification on a global basis in the portfolio. And we're also in the process right now of restructuring our debt. So with a new debt facility, with the revenue coming in from our existing portfolio, we'll be able to grow the portfolio without dilution to our shareholders.
Very good. So also want to ask about, the competitive landscape, right? Because I mean, I think most people who watch our YouTube channel here, all of our videos, more generalist in nature. We kind of look at, royalty and streamers and like, okay, they're mining, but cash flow generating, it makes a lot of sense to us on paper, so and everybody will agree that within junior mining, especially amongst it's so difficult to understand. So have you been seeing more of Empress Royalty like structures now popping up as a result of like, okay, look, they're able to add assets pretty quick. They can raise this and then the other thing. So I'd love to get your opinion on that.
Yeah, there's no shortage of opportunity. The streaming, as I was saying, the streaming sort of financing was more of an option for larger companies, and now we're able to provide that for the smaller companies,
Right.
especially with equity markets being tougher, debt's much more restrictive. Sometimes we just able to go alone and provide a stream. Sometimes we combine it with it. In the royalty space in general, there's been a lot of new entrants in the last couple of years. But there's very different types of royalty and streaming companies, and investors have a lot of different ways to invest or multiple ways to invest in the sector. You've got the prospect generators, inexpensive to acquire. But there's who knows if it'll turn to a mine. If it does, it's a long lead time to revenue generation. Then there's the groups, the royalty companies that are buying existing third-party royalties. So no direct relationship with the company. It's become very competitive. So typically the returns are low and part of a competitive bid process. And then we're on the creation side, and that really is leveraging off our experience and our background as mining financiers, leveraging off Endeavour's network, board of management's network to find these opportunities, invest in companies we know that need that additional financing. We have a direct relationship with them, so we're very close to them. We're able to work with them and make flexible structures and really invest our money into ones that will bring near-term revenue into Empress.
So at the end of the day, and I asked you this in our interview that we did last year, but just as a quick reiteration, I don't know if that's a word, whatever. To reiterate, I guess, so I mean, at the end of the day, you're looking for near-term producers, right? That like maybe need that last, I mean, not that this is a big amount, but that last 5 million to get over the hump, right? That's really the main goal?
So maybe in some circumstances, some debt, some equity, they need the additional 5 million to go. Or it's in a circumstance where they're a private company, they don't have access to the equity markets. We're able to provide that financing, and perhaps it's just all they need to expand, and they're taking advantage of the commodity prices, or it's part of a bigger picture where they want to go public later on, they need to expand now. So there's different ways we look at it. Again, all the financings we do is bespoke to that company and that investment. And we've been able to demonstrate we can do that and get some great returns. Our portfolio IRR is about 30% right now.
Very good. All right. To close out here today, because short form, I'm not gonna, we'll talk again, hopefully not in another 12 months, but from what you can tell us, in the near term here, moving forward for the rest of 2023, going into 2024, what would you then say are some of the company's value catalysts?
For us, it is bringing new investments into the portfolio. As I mentioned, we've got exclusivity on 2 that we're doing. We're deep into those ones and looking at other opportunities. And with the new debt facility that we're working on and with the cash coming in, we'll be able to diversify the portfolio further. If you look at the industry or the royalty and streaming sector as a whole, and the price to cash flow ratio is about 20 times for the 2024 revenue. We're forecasting about 10 million in revenue next year. So, Empress has a significant potential for a re-rate.
Very good. All right. Well, Alexandra, with that, where can our audience go and find more information on Empress Royalty?
You can reach us through our website or have a look at our website, empressroyalty.com. You can email us at info@empressroyalty. I think we've got 1 or 2 slots still available at Beaver Creek, but also we're happy to, if you email us, we can set up a meeting before or after Beaver Creek and answer any questions and even walk you through the whole presentation.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I look forward to our next update.
Look forward to it. Thanks so much, Robert, for your time.
Thank you.